What is going on, everybody? Rick Kackis here, and the Brady Bunch. The RGH gamers are here, ready to rip, and we're looking good, feeling good. So, did you guys know that they released information on YouTube for the most used intros? And hey guys is the number one thing.
Is it really?
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Whatever. There's a whole bunch, and they showed like who used the most, and like, all right, hello, hi, my name is, like, there's like all the most popular ones, and they went over like
funny.
millions of videos.
I'm still chewing on this delicious Kit Kat chunky sent to me by Kit Kat Gaming, boys.
Did they pay you to say that?
No.
Then shut the hell up. Then shut the hell. Then shut up.
Everyone go to my Twitter and retweet that video. We gotta peer pressure Kit Kat to sponsor your boy, and more importantly, get Kit Kats for my wife, so she'll be happy.
The irony here is just so ironic that the one guy here that defends himself the most as not being a sellout is the one that literally kicks off our podcast, mutual podcast, with his own attempt to get attention from a big brand. No. I'm just calling what I see.
Are different than Kit Kats, bro. I actually eat Kit Kats. You know, you
guys
totally. Play.
You know, you're right.
Play right now, right. I take it back. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, we don't.
If you get Taco Bell, I should get Kit Kat. That's how it should work.
All right, listen, we got some bangers to talk about today. Destiny players quitting, announcing it, pulling an Mtashed, and leaving the game. Twitch
That's what they call it.
Yeah. The hot tub streams. One of the biggest, like, honestly, this is one of the biggest things. This is going to be some drama from Twitch. Starfield, the new Bethesda game. It potentially is going to be an Xbox exclusive after some leaks that just came out, which is kind of crazy because then it's like, well, what about future Elder Scrolls games? Yada, yada, yada. Cheaters absolutely destroyed the RuneScape economy, and nothing happened, which we're going to talk about, which is crazy. And then Grand Theft Auto is getting a next-gen remaster, and we're going to have a bunch of other stuff. I'm sure we'll talk about other stuff because we always go on little tangents. Let's start off by saying really quickly, if you like this podcast, make sure to like it, but also make sure to follow us. But also, we do this every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We don't miss one. And if you haven't
missed yet,
if
never
you
missed.
Watched if you haven't watched before, thanks for coming. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so first topic, we got to cover Destiny a little bit. I know some people are like, you guys always talk about Destiny because it's always popping. There's always something going on. And really, what's happened over the last week, we talked about the new season launch. A lot of exciting things, a lot of good things. There's a ton of weapons introduced, like 30 something weapons
gear, dude.
And some brand new perks. You know, so the reception, especially from the PvE side, has been pretty positive. And yet from the PvP side, the problem was really just like nothing really happened to Stasis to.
That's not
really
true.
Impact. Well, true.
It went the other direction.
To impact it in any significant way. And in fact, they introduced some new aspects that are absolutely cracked out of their mind, especially the hunter aspect, which makes already S tier grenades. Like these grenades, you know, Cold Snap was an S plus tier grenade, top of the meta, and you dial that now to 11.
Let's make them better.
Exactly.
You can freeze the same person twice.
So in the wake of that, and players having to deal with that stuff, multiple Destiny, streamers have like quit. The one that comes to mind, Ill Physics, just straight up came out and said, "I'm done." Like,
yeah, Tony's a great Destiny.
Dude.
Tony, I feel bad for Tony. Tony's been he's been really positive voice in the more competitive community, especially on PC where he plays. He's a really positive dude. He hosts all kinds of just pick up sweats and has great discussions, and he kind of has been a spokesperson for a big community of competitive players over there in the PC side of things. And he's been at it. It's sort of been his thing for a long time now. And I feel for him because he hasn't seen any real progress. Nothing's really happened in the wake of all the feedback that he's gathered and he's tried to put out there from that side of the community. If anything, they just feel more and more overlooked. And so he announced his departure. You know, he's been doing a whole bunch of Apex streams since then. But him.
Like, people need to understand. I got to interrupt for 2 seconds. People need to understand. This guy's making an income maybe not necessarily a full living. He might have had another job. I'm not sure, but he's, you know, your living depends on Destiny, and you dislike it so much that you go, I'm done. I quit. Like, that's kind of insane. Like how bad things got for him.
Well, the thing is, and I think maybe people don't realize this, is Grenadier Jake currently has like 11,000 subscribers. So he's getting like, you know, 30 grand a month from Destiny. He hates it. He has been so upset with all the cheating and all the recovs. He is not having a great time most of the time. The only reason he's playing is because he's getting insane amounts of money and he has an awesome community. The gameplay is not what's keeping him. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of people can deal with playing Destiny and getting frozen when you're getting those big bucks. But if other people that are maybe making less are like, no, I'm done, I'm quitting, you know, eventually bigger creators will go. But also, what does that say about the average person that's frustrated with the game?
Oh, yeah.
They're
But it also should be mentioned, it's not just him. Gigs, huge person. He was in 100 Thieves. Like, this is a huge PvP personality. He basically tweeted out, he didn't. I don't think he technically said I'm quitting, but he basically tweeted out. He said, "Don't expect to like see anything really from me this season." Right?
What he literally said was, it is so. He said this says it's so depressing. He says I can't play more than an hour and a half, and I'm done, man. I'm gone. It is so aggravating that my favorite game has been completely. These are his words, completely ruined. Those are some strong words.
Crazy, dude.
Crazy. Even some other positive creators like Nathan Sane goes on a huge rant. And he's a very positive, uplifting guy. It's always been his MO. And then everybody's got their breaking point. They're like, listen, this is horrible.
I played 2 days, and I'm gonna play the raid on Saturday. But after a day and a half of playing, I was like, nope, I'm done. I cannot play this game long term anymore. Everyone was like, oh, like honestly, I had a great reception. And like there was a lot of people watching me come back, and I really did have a good time, you know, chatting with everyone. But I was so frustrated by the end of the first day. I was like, man, holy cow. And I started playing the second day, and I was like, guys, don't get excited because I'm gone. The second the raid is over, I am gone. I can't do it. I will never be able to force myself to play PvP. I used to grind Rumble all day. I used to play all day, and I really loved being able to just vibe playing with everybody. But after 2 days, I was like, there's no way. It's impossible. And then I will be so frustrated that this stream is going to devolve into rage. Like I'm foaming at the mouth here. Like, I can't do it.
And it's like, how do you grind Rumble for freaking years and live through some annoying metas? You lived through the auto rifle meta, right?
Bro,
where people were
I'd rather play against a mountaintop. Are you kidding me?
Do you remember the worst thing in this game? At one point, the worst thing in Destiny was the freaking Graviton Lance?
Bring
me back to that time, baby.
Yeah.
Bring me back to that time. Like, that is what I crave now. We thought the hard light bouncing around corners was annoying. Like, I'd take that, bring back the hard light. Like, everything that they've buffed, at this point, rebuff it back to where it was, because it all doesn't matter, right? Like, it all doesn't matter in the wake of stasis, and it's important to note that because of this, there was a little bit of an outrage. The PvP lead, Kevin Yanes, I think that's how you say it.
Kevin Giannis.
Giannis, he came out and he said, we are 100% looking at stasis. We know it's too powerful, right?
And he was very clear. It wasn't like it's too powerful. It was like he said we need to bring it down a lot.
Yeah.
It's big.
So, which is great, but you know, that Bungie is clearly looking at this and going, yeah, we agree. That's all good. But it brings up the big question. First of all, why is it taking this long? Why is it taking 6 months? Because everyone was pointing this out day one. Like, one Crucible match went after Beyond Light, and people were like, yeah, this is insane. And also, people are really saying, okay, well, if you've now officially admitted that Stasis is too powerful and you're looking at bringing it down, should the solution maybe be to disable it in PvP while you can work on that, and then bring it back when it's in a balanced state?
There's a ton of people in the PvP community saying exactly that. A lot of big creators and influencers out there who are saying exactly that. Hey, give it the Telesto treatment. You're acknowledging it's busted. You've literally just said it's really busted. Give it the Telesto treatment. Say, all right, going to disable it for now. We're going to work on a fix. And when it's ready, we'll reissue it. We'll reactivate it when it's all fleshed out and good to go, baby. And I think that's what you got to do. I think you gotta bite the bullet. You got to say, all right, man, it's busted. Let's take it out of PvP. I mean, you can still play it PvE, still play it in Gambit, whatever. But we're gonna take it out of PvP until we get this thing fixed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a hard argument. So I think Bungie knew it was very, very powerful, and they were willing to let it be very, very powerful in order to get Beyond Light sales. We've talked about this before. This is a common tactic. You know, it's no wonder every time Call of Duty or every time like insert game here introduces the new stuff is always amongst the best stuff, because it's like
it will
if the new
always
stuff was
be.
yeah, if the new stuff is underpowered, you can't really get away with it. And there's some exceptions. Interestingly, if you have like a rotating meta, and the one example would be like standard in Magic the Gathering, where like there's only 4 sets at a time and that rotates, you can introduce like underpowered sets and they'll do worse until now you have all underpowered sets and you bring the power level back down. That's some kind of like theory crafting stuff. I mean, Sunsetting, they tried to almost pull that in Destiny, but it really didn't work. But
it happens in every game though. Like even in Genshin, when they first released Zhongli, like he had a shield that could make you super tanky and like he can stun enemies and like he had value, and everyone's like, nope, it's not good enough. He's a god. Like he's an Archon, he has to be better. And so they buffed the hell out of him. And the new character, Eula, like she's good. She's really good. She's got some of the biggest bursts, and people are like hammering the forums being like, nope, she's not good enough. I spent money on her, and it's like she's not even bad. Like if you buff her, she's gonna be like broken, like so good. And so I think it's partially just like players always want something stronger, but they don't realize that is power creep makes but you know,
that's a PvE game, right? It's very different if someone is using that broken character against you in PvP, right? And then that is what becomes the big issue here. Like in PvE, stasis is not even really that bad. I don't even run it that much. But in PvP, it's just beyond broken. I saw a good tweet. I forget who it was from. Maybe like Skill Up or something. I can't remember. But it was basically someone saying stasis in Destiny 2 is basically like a racing game that disables your ability to race.
Triple Rex said that.
Triple Rex. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's like, yeah, true. Like imagine like getting into my like, I'm in my McLaren P1 ready to go, and you're ready, and it's like yellow, green, and then someone throws a weird grenade at you and you can't move and everyone else races by. You'd be like, this game is complete bullshit, I'm out of here, right? Like that's every waking hour in PvP right now in Destiny.
You know, we kind of said this before, is like someone throws a solar grenade at your feet, your reaction
doesn't matter.
If you're a good player, is like, I'm gonna get hit with this, it's gonna tick a couple damage, but I'm gonna get out. Like my goal is get out of that. And if someone's shooting at you and you're weak, you look for cover and you're like, I need to get out of this lane to get safe. But with freezing, you just have to sit there like, there's no counter. I just have to sit here and eat it. And it's frustrating.
I was playing Stasis this weekend to get the new SMG. Yeah. And I remember there's a time that really stood out to me where some guy, for some reason, was using the solar subclass, and I was peeking, and he hit me, stuck me with a fusion grenade. And I felt in zero danger. I just backed up, it exploded, I lost like half, like not even that much health. And then, of course, since everyone runs 100 recovery, or else you can't play PvP, basically, it like, my health is back, and I'm pushing. And I'm like, that process probably would have taken about the same amount of time if I would have gotten stuck with stasis. But I thought to myself, like, holy crap, I got stuck, and I felt in no danger. Whereas if I would have gotten frozen by a Hunter Cold Snap, I would have been freaking out. Because I'm there, I'm low health, but I got my shotgun out. I'm like, if anyone pushes me, I'll kill him.
Maybe a trade,
good, right? But if I'm frozen, I'm helpless. It's like, so it's crazy. Like, having to be that accurate to stick someone doesn't matter at all. It's useless. It's pathetic. But throwing it in the same general area with a cold snap, you got him. You're like, he's gonna get frozen, and then the next guy's gonna get frozen, and then the teammate behind him is gonna get frozen, and then it's gonna come back and freeze the original guy too.
And then you're finally gonna snap and you're gonna quit. And it doesn't matter if you're getting paid because it's happening now with a bunch of content creators. So,
and it's
I mean, Ryan, you know you're close. I can see it in your eyes. He's playing PvP. His eyes. He's just dead
I gotta tell
inside.
you, the only reason I'm so engaged right now is because of all the new gear, and that's always been the thing that drew me to Destiny. Destiny is you got all these guns, all these options, all these perks, and trying to find cool combos. And how can I make this work for me? That's really it. It's sort of this age of exploration and discovery. And but those always go away. You know, you get to the end of the season, it settles.
But it's so problematic because these are like community leaders. If these people go, they will bring a portion of their community with them, right? And that community is now not playing Destiny 2, right? Because it's like you're tolerating Destiny 2 PvP, and then your favorite streamer goes and plays Apex Legends. You're going to watch him in Apex Legends. You're going to be like, wow, this game looks fun. It's free? Are you serious? Right. Next thing you know, you're playing Apex Legends, right? And if you don't think that's going to happen, it's absolutely going to happen. So what you're going to have is basically you're going to have the entire community, aside from the 3 dinguses who always defend Stasis because they have no clue they've never balanced anything in their lives, right? And now they're defending Stasis is just going to be those 3 people matching each other nonstop. Congratulations, you guys are the last people in the game that you've killed because you don't understand PvP balance whatsoever. Like, at this point, it's not an argument. Stasis is a huge problem. We've seen the player base go down. Like, look at the Steam charts. Destiny is getting nowhere near the reception for a new DLC as it should. Because even though I'm a PvE guy, a big part of, like, adding this new gear is, like, you get this cracked new weapon, and then you go into Rumble to try it, or you go into PvP to try it, right? It's like, oh, how good is this, like, new fusion rifle perk in PvP? How good is this, like, new auto rifle? I've been using that, like, new kinetic auto rifle. I actually really like that thing in Iron Banner. But it's like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you use. You're going to get frozen, and then some guy's going to truth teller you, and it's over. It's like, and so it just really kills the vibe of having all this new gear into the game.
Right. But I think we talked enough about Destiny. Let's move on to some of the big drama. Twitch bringing an end to hot tub streaming meta. Potentially,
yeah.
So what ended up happening is Amouranth, if you don't know who that is, she is the biggest probably, or one of the biggest overall content creators on Twitch. 22 to 25,000 subscribers on Twitch at any one time. Has anywhere between 8,000 and 15,000+ viewers depending on what she's streaming. She got word from Twitch saying, we're taking all the ads away from your videos.
No, she didn't get word.
But no, she noticed. Yeah, she noticed.
She noticed. She went into her analytics and said ad revenue 0.
Yeah, like the one section is just gone. So she reached out and they're like, oh yeah, we took away your ads. There will be no ads playing on your channel moving forward. It is essentially indefinite. With no chance of appeal, really. Like, there's no process here where she can get them back that she knows of. They just said, nah, we took them away. And so it's like, okay, why? Is it because of the hot tub streaming? Is it because I swear too much? Is it the... Right?
Yeah, okay, well, that's a whole nother topic. But we should say that we at RGH freaking called it. Especially, I mean, specifically me. It was me. But you guys agreed. We called it. We literally said the adpocalypse that hit YouTube already. YouTubers already had to deal with the adpocalypse. We have an emote in our, if you're a member, you can spam the demonetized symbol, right? Like the yellow $sign. We have a running joke about that because we end up swearing and stuff on this podcast, right? So YouTube has already dealt with this, and I was saying, listen, even though like there's nothing necessarily wrong with these streamers, if Twitch says they're not violating the rules, go ahead and do a hot tub stream. It's not their fault that people are turning up to the streams. Like, if you don't like it, don't watch the stream. Pretty simple. But we said that the thing that's gonna get them is, the advertisers. Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, right? Dove soap, whoever the heck is advertising on Twitch, a lot of brands, they have an overarching deal with Twitch. I don't think people like Coca-Cola would be thrilled if you said, hey, Coca-Cola, why is your ad playing on some big badonkadonks? Like, literally, its streams are just this down. Yeah. It says, sponsored by Coca-Cola, right? Or whatever, like, where it's a Coca-Cola, it ends, right to some girl in a bikini.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola's gonna be like, whoa, 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 we're trying to promote a family brand here,
Yeah.
right? So that is exactly what happened in this case, is they pulled the advertising, just the advertising. And that's kind of crazy, because that is a portion of revenue now that's gone for her. And it really is likely that it's the sexualized content in the hot tub streams. And if that's the case, then a lot of other streamers are going to get hit by this too.
Yeah.
Well, you would think,
But you don't know.
But you don't know. Like,
there's no consistency.
Yeah, like, is that Indie Fox gonna get demonetized because she's been doing a bunch of hot tubs? How many hot tub streams is too many hot tub streams? Is it a ratio of how many hot tub streams to non-hot tub streams? Like, there's no
Criteria.
rule book here or criteria, and there's no way to defend yourself. But also, like, there's some pretty edgy people on Twitch, some pretty toxic people on Twitch. At what point do they cross the line and they're not ad friendly, and then they do it? And Devin Nash, if you don't know who Devin Nash is, he is with a firm that does like a bunch of brand deals with like, he's like I guess an agency. I don't know if you'd want to call it an agency or not, but he works with a bunch of creators, does a lot of that stuff. And he was kind of saying, if you're cheering about Amouranth losing her ads, just wait, because that's only a start. Wait until your favorite streamer, maybe someone like XQC, who's been banned in the past, has had some, rocky moments. When do they take them away from him? And then everyone's fighting over that. Do they do it to that guy Trainwrecks? Everyone has had toxic moments. Do they do it to me? Because that's the scary thing, is it could happen to a lot of different people for different reasons. And, you don't know who it is. Tectone. Yeah, he's in Genshin. He swears a lot. It's on his brand. Are they going to demonetize a Genshin guy because he swears too much? Where do you draw the line?
It's definitely not good that she basically had to find this out for herself. Like, that's weird. You should be like, hey, we are pulling ads due to the fact that you're over-sexualizing it, in our opinion, and with our guidelines, your content. Now, if they did that, I think a lot of people would say, that kind of makes sense. Because clearly, like, if you go to, when you said she got banned, I went to her Twitter profile for some research purposes.
Y'all in your research, yeah.
This is I spent quite a while researching, and like, there's some clearly sexualized content here. Like, clearly. Now, obviously, again, people are welcome to watch that, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with doing those type of streams, and we talked about that earlier.
And but Slay Queen, like, we don't care. We really don't care.
Yeah, go for it. You're doing your thing. That's totally fine. But if they would have said that, again, that would have been one thing, and then people can adapt. It's like, okay, you don't like hot tub streams, I can shift my content to maybe get some ads back, right?
Yeah.
That would be an important thing to know. But additionally, there's still revenue coming in. The ad portion is not all, like YouTube, it's everything. But on Twitch, it's very different. You're making most of your money from donations and subs, and those are still very much present. So just because your ad revenue is gone does not mean that you would like stop doing hot tub streams at all, right?
Yeah. So rapid fire on that. Twitch revenue, like ad revenue, is bad. So like, honestly, maybe she gets more hype from this than Lost. Honestly, like the ad revenue,
I would agree. I would agree.
So potentially it's like a win, even though it's kind of sus. But like, again, there's been no opportunity for course correction. There's been no slap on the wrist and said like, hey, listen, if you keep doing hot tub streams, we're going to take them away. And so that's the thing, is like, I've played multiple different games and I don't always play the same game. Maybe the hot tub meta goes away. Maybe she gets bored of it and she moves away. But now for the rest of her Twitch
the mud
career,
wrestling meta, or have whatever happens next.
No, yeah, for sure. But like, if she moves completely away from hot tub streams, she still can't get ads. It's like, well,
yeah,
now,
that's a little weird.
Now she's not in a bikini, so she's like, that's why you ban her. It's such a sus thing. But also on top of that, it's like, oh well, it's for sexual content. There's Trojan ads on half of my streams. People always come in and they're like, oh, I just got a Trojan condom ad. And also, I'm just gonna read this one out from. Sorry if I butchered.
Yeah, like, it's important to say, it's all ads are banned. Whereas, like you said, Trojan. Dude, I don't think Manscaped probably wants their ads on her content.
Have you seen some of their ads?
Their target audience.
So
Manscaped is like, what the hell? Why aren't our ads showing up?
And then a streamer, Kintunui. I don't know how to pronounce it. She said, she's like, so Twitch support, why are there vibrator ads being ran on my channel right now? Explain. Like an Adam and Eve type thing. And Sarah Daniels actually commented on that and is like, yeah, I got in trouble for doing an Adam and Eve sponsorship and talking about lingerie and talking about those things on my stream. And Twitch has gone after different people that have done Adam and Eve sponsors, saying that it's too sexualized, it's too focused on that, and you can't do them. And if you do them, you run the risk of getting in trouble. And it's like, you're advertising
the difference
that.
is the money wasn't going to Twitch then.
Yes. No, 100%. The money is going to the creator.
The difference.
100%.
You can't. We can do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, they're literally like a playground bully. It's like, if I'm not involved, then no one can play. It's like,
that's right.
Okay.
When do people snap though and move away from Twitch? I don't know, man. They are just so scary.
Importantly, YouTube, like, it's hard because YouTube has the naked yoga meta right now, so I guess they do allow some sexual content, but YouTube has the different like grades, right? So you can have limited ads, which means that you do have the vibrator ads, the Manscaped, those type of content creators are like, we don't care if it's on sexual content, go for it, right? Those will still show. Your ad revenue will lower, but it won't go to zero. Twitch, they're such a freaking caveman that they just smash. It's smash.
Right.
Either full ads or no ads, and there's no in between. It's like, again, who is Twitch? Hire me. I'll do it for 1/4 of whoever is in charge now, and I'll fix your website in 2 days. Like, it's such a joke. Like, it's all or nothing with them.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's shocking, and this is probably just the start. With Adpocalypse, it didn't just affect PewDiePie. That was the start. That was the catalyst. But everyone got affected. I was demonetized for like 9 months. I had to start a Patreon because I was like, shit, like I can't go full time with this the way I was because of Adpocalypse. I post a Destiny video and it would just flag it. Like anytime I had a gun in the thumbnail, it was like flagged. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Thankfully, I was able to get through that. I think because I did have the like partner and because it was going through an MCN.
Yeah.
It like was like, no, we're okay here. If you're independent, it was much more. It would scrutinize you much more.
Right.
But that whole Adpocalypse, a lot of that was like people were like, "Did you know Coca-Cola that your ads are showing up on like an ISIS video or something?" That some nobody it would have like 3 views in like the bowels of YouTube, and someone would like go and find it and show them, and obviously they were like upset. But it's like no one here is like, "Oh, Coca-Cola sponsors terror group." Like no one is dumb enough to think that, right? It's just like they would randomly show up because YouTube wouldn't have time to process these videos. But again, YouTube learned that now we have the different monetization tiers. Like there's full ads, limited ads, no ads. There's different categories. You can say, hey, this is violent content. This is a lot of swears, and advertisers can say like, hey, I'm okay with a lot of swears. Go for it, right? I'm okay with sexual content, or I'm not okay with violence. I'm okay with this. I'm like, so it's a lot more nuanced on YouTube. Again, it's literally like caveman style over on Twitch.
Yeah, for sure. So let's move on to Starfield now. Starfield, if you guys don't know what that is going to be a new Bethesda game.
They revealed this back with E3, I think just before, like as they were revealing Fallout 76, right? We all know how that turned out, but they also, of course, huge hype. They announced next Elder Scrolls game. It's coming. That's all we know. It's coming. Yeah. Elder Scrolls at some point. And then they also said Starfield. Starfield is the next new Bethesda IP. We know it's an RPG. It has like a very like space sci-fi setting. That's all we really know. But yeah, apparently it's an Xbox and PC exclusive. So just Xbox and PC. PlayStation 5 is left out. It's funny how like people say like PlayStation is the only console that can't get it, when technically the Nintendo Switch is missing out, but everyone knows the Nintendo Switch has the power of like a hamster
toaster
wheel.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like that Nintendo Switch has this power, the power of your like Samsung fridge display panel, right?
That's right.
Like they just like don't even count it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's their like someone in chat, Chris, says this is their first original IP in something like 18 years. That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's a big deal for them.
Yeah,
Since Elder Scrolls, I think, right?
pretty much. Yeah, like what else have they been
Yeah.
working on?
Well, isn't Elder Scrolls older than Fallout though?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Elder Scrolls was their first IP, original IP. They bought Fallout from somewhere else and made that. And then this Starfield. Look, it's a big deal for Bethesda. A huge deal, right? The interesting part of the story is that Bethesda recently got bought by Microsoft. And people were saying, are they going to turn everything into Xbox exclusives? And Microsoft kind of said, no, you could still, there's still going to be some PlayStation games, and maybe they won't with something like Elder Scrolls because it's such a well-known franchise. But hey, this is a big deal and a big win for Xbox.
Especially if it's as good as some of these other games. Because I mean, if it is, if it's to their quality level.
Skyrim is Bethesda's GTA 5, which we'll get to later.
Yeah,
they just keep releasing it and releasing it and releasing it. And I just always go back to that moment where they kept getting memed for it. And the freaking general manager tweeted out something along, he ended up deleting the tweet, but he tweeted out something along the lines of, if you guys want us to stop selling Skyrim, then stop buying Skyrim.
Yeah.
So you guys make fun of us, but y'all keep buying it. Yeah. You must like it.
True. It's like people who are like, dude, I hate Destiny. It's like the game is ruined with stasis. And then next day, they're like, I bought every new ornament in the Eververse store. It's like, you're so dumb, dude.
So if Bethesda can deliver another, that's right. If Bethesda can deliver another experience that really sucks people in, it's super immersive, people feel like they're part of that world, then this could be a big deal.
Well, think of like the loops of the Elder Scrolls game and like building your character and exploring. Now do that on the moon. Like, hell yeah, bro. If they've got big, like, or like in Fallout, I love when like you see your first death claw and you're fighting your first death claw. Yeah. Like, they've built games with guns. They've built games with lots of exploration and mountains and terrain and dungeons. Do it in space? I'm in there. I'm sold.
in, baby.
I will live in that world. I'm gonna inject that.
Customize your spaceship, yeah.
Right?
Like, just like you can customize your house in Skyrim and stuff. Like,
yeah, they might nail it. It might be one of the biggest games we've ever seen. Because that's
or it might be Fallout 76 and be a complete flop.
It's like I have such little faith in all the game studios now.
I know.
Because like they keep botching it, but eventually they won't botch one. Like eventually there will be the next Paper Mario, the next Ocarina of Time. Like there will be those games and those shining achievements. But like it's been 10 years. I'm waiting for the new one.
We're overdue.
What was the last like perfect game that had no problems? Maybe like Ghost
Cyberpunk.
of Tsushima.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, that had no problems.
Sorry, I misheard you.
Wait, Ghost of Tsushima, right?
And
was like the last
God of War games,
like Witcher,
God of War,
3 maybe.
Resident
Witcher 3, yeah.
Resident Evil's been popping off.
Yeah. So like they exist. There's some studios that can do it, but
I'm looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes,
that's one of the ones I'm pretty jazzed about.
But also on the 25th, I believe, is Biomutant. Maybe
that's right.
Right? They actually released some footage. They were like, "Well, what kind of game is it?" They're like, it's kind of like Breath of the Wild meets Ratchet and Clank. And I'm like, hold on, what?
Wait,
that sounds incredible. So, Biomutant maybe has some potential to be something. And like Returnal, that new roguelike game on PlayStation, that's been getting some pretty good reception too overall. It's definitely the hype has died down. But with a game like that, it's not like an MMO. It's not a big multiplayer game kind of thing that everyone's going to be talking about for months on end.
Yeah, it seems like the games that succeed are these games that have something to prove, whereas the big developers and big studios maybe get a little complacent, right? Yeah. Where it's like Bungie made, I think, for like $4 million off the Hunter armor set in Eververse or something like that. Like, I might be wrong there, but like, they make millions of dollars every single ornament they put out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're getting a little complacent. They're not having the resources to balance the game and to do stuff as well. Same with Call of Duty. They made $1.3 billion in the first quarter of this year, right? And Warzone is a constant buggy mess. But it's like, why are we going to put the resources to fix it? We're not even fixing it, and we're still making more bank than we've ever like dreamed of. Right. So And Elder Scrolls and Bethesda's kind of the same way. They clearly didn't, work hard enough on Fallout 76. It was a complete disaster, but they still had that in-game store, and just because it's called Fallout, a lot of people ended up playing. A lot of people ended up spending money on it too. They probably still turned a profit with that game. So, yeah, it's kind of an interesting landscape in gaming right now.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm just trying to find something really quickly for this this RuneScape thing, because
This is a crazy story.
This is crazy.
If you don't play RuneScape, listen to this. It's wild.
So, because there's quite a few levels of this, because if you go on the RuneScape forums right now, or on the forums, but also on the RuneScape Reddit, 80 to 90% of all the posts are just, what are you doing about these bans? What's going on? So there's a new
Before you get started in the story.
Okay, yep, go.
We need to thank our sponsors. It's not Kit Kat yet, but we want to give a huge thank you to our one sponsor, one of our sponsors, the main one, the one that's been here since before we existed, advanced.gg. The only clinically proven gaming supplement out there. It's a fantastic product. I use all the time. I had some this morning. They have so many good flavors. Mtashed Mango Splash, Kackis Kiwi Lime. The strawberry shortcake flavor is amazing. The birthday cake flavor, when you mix it with milk, is unbelievable. And it is, again, the only clinically proven stuff. So if you don't want stuff that tastes like chalk and has a bunch of fillers like their competitors, you gotta get Advanced GG, baby. And if you use code RGH, you get 10% off, and you support all three of us. Even though I've never seen a dime of all that Advanced GG money, I think it's going to Tash. I've never seen it.
It ain't coming here. I'll tell you that much.
It wasn't me. It's pooling so we can eventually go on a vacation together.
It's pooling. And why do you keep DMing me Lamborghinis you're looking at then?
Well, actually, fun fact. We literally just bought a hot tub. Bad timing or bad timing?
Oh my god!
Because now I'm gonna get banned. I was thinking about doing some fun streams on the
hot tub stream, not
that's
anymore,
right,
dude.
right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll wear a t-shirt in the pool. I don't know.
I'll say this: if we get to, like, let's say 500, if we get to 500 channel members for RGH, we will at some point all get together. We'll all go to Mtashed house. Whatever, and we will do
a hot
tub. We will do a hot tub episode, all three of us in the hot tub the entire time. All right, you have the power to make that happen. All right, let's get on to the RuneScape stuff.
All right, so RuneScape, this is a multi-layer thing because, with any MMO, there's an economy in the game, and this is one of the most disruptive things that's ever happened to the economy. There's been multiple times where exploits have happened where people have made billions upon billions of gold, and they've actually had to roll back the game. And so, in some cases, you get a legitimate, awesome drop, and they're like, listen, because of all these exploits, we have to roll back the game 2 days. And so, any progress you made in the last 2 days, it's wiped. It is wiped. But they didn't do that in this case. They didn't roll it back. But this is one of the biggest hits to the RuneScape economy there's ever been. But also, if you didn't bug abuse, you're almost penalized, because the people that did, they got a 2-week slap on the wrist, and they got to keep everything. There's new bosses in the elite dungeons. They were making 10 kills on the bosses per minute. Like they were killing these endgame bosses, 10 of them per minute, just bop bop bop, getting billions on billions of gold. Some people screenshotting 180 billion gold. 180 billion gold is enough to buy every weapon, every armor at the highest level, as well as like multiple party hats, which are the rarest items in the game. You could have anything you ever wanted in the game and more. Or if you decided, well, maybe I wanted to sell it. Maybe I wanted to sell that gold. It's equivalent to around, I don't know, $15,000.
So would this be kind of similar to, I don't know, say somebody who works at a store, and they went to work one day and just decided they wanted to steal a whole bunch of like tech off the shelves and took it home, and then they got slapped on the wrist and said, you can keep all that stuff, but you can't come into work for 2 days. You're on suspension.
Maybe. Like, the thing is, what people need to understand, really listening to this, they're like, what's the big deal, right? Like, the thing is, there's trading, right? There's in-game trading between players. So it's not like if Mtashed found an exploit and got 108 billion legendary shards in Destiny, it's like, who gives a crap, right? But in RuneScape, because you can buy stuff from other people, it would basically be the world like life equivalent of like a few people finding how to turn lead into gold for like a certain amount of time and just spammed gold, and then they're like the Treasury Department was like, okay, you can't do this. 2 weeks, you gotta stop doing this, but you get to keep all the gold, right? You've just created a bunch more. You've created like 100 more Mark Zuckerbergs in like IRL, right? And it's just that would, the whole world economy would flip on its head. Gold would plummet in value. You would have like you would literally have like an in-game, or sorry, a real life effect. And this is happening in this game. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like it's gonna devalue the value of actual gold, right? Like, if something was worth 1 million gold, because of these people doing this exploit and there's more gold out there, that thing is now only worth 500,000 gold, right?
Right. And like, there's actually like, if you look at the charts of the new items, they go up and then the exploit happens and it just drops down hundreds of millions of gold. And it's like, well, if I got that thing legitimately, the market is just flooded with people trying to offload these things and sell them.
Yeah.
And so now all the work I put in to get that drop, that's like a 1 in 100 chance, it's worth a fraction of what it was. But the other thing is all the people are like, well, I won't play for 2 weeks if I can get 50 billion gold or 20 billion. That's more than I could make playing. It's such a colossal amount that it's like, ban me for a month. There's no way I could even make that much. And with that amount of gold, you could max out your skills and do all these things. But like other items like the party hats, which are these rare items, they're inflating even further than they were. Back when I was in university, I had party hats and I sold them for money, for real money. And they were around 4 billion to 5 billion each. And the ones I sold were around 4 billion. That same party hat is worth 42 billion gold now, of like, let's say 7 years later. But on top of that,
What does that equate to in IRL money, though?
well, I made like 15 grand because I sold all these things because the gold price was higher before. Because back in the day, I could sell the gold for like 30 cents a million. Now it's like 8 cents a million. Like, it's like nothing compared to what it is. So the gold market's out of whack there for people that are real world trading. But also, those party hats were worth 42 billion at the beginning of the month. After this happened, they're 47 billion. So like, they're inflating so fast that no one can make enough money to buy them unless you exploited.
Because if you own,
unless you cheated.
If you own a party hat, you're going to be like, well, everyone's rich as fudge now. I'm going to increase the price.
That's right.
It's crazy. And like, why wouldn't they just take the items from these people's accounts?
Right. And it's like, you can probably track if they've been able to roll back accounts and they've had to do all these different things. But here's the kicker. This is the final point about RuneScape, because this is the one, is about a month ago, there was this crazy thing that locked people out of their accounts. They couldn't log in. It was a weird server issue where the info for their account just wouldn't connect to the server properly for a month. And it's like, I was out of the game for a month. Give me 50 million in compensation. Give me 20 billion in compensation.
Sure.
Like, I couldn't even play. These people cheated. You're banning them for 2 weeks. And they're coming out on top. I couldn't even play for a month. I missed a double experience weekend. I missed these new bosses launching. I didn't even get to fight them. And now the market's got all imploded. So it's just this crazy thing where people were essentially getting rewarded for cheating. Like, imagine getting all the loot from Destiny from the raid by like hacking through the walls, and they're like, all right, and you get the world first belt as well. Here you go.
Yeah.
So, it really is messed up. And like, obviously no communication from the developers. Any of those threads are going unheard, and then someone posts a fan art and the mods are applying, and it's like, come on. So I mean, that's frustrating. Legitimate players, I can imagine that demonetize or like devalues all your stuff. Like, even in a game like The Division, if someone could spawn in thousands and thousands of assault rifles and have more damage than you and destroy you in PvP, like, they can take that money and fight bosses with it and get richer. They can fight you if you decide to do any of the PvP content. Like, it affects a lot of people, whether they're PvP players or traders or whatever. So
yeah.
And like, imagine you're playing a game and because some people, they play the markets in RuneScape. they invest in items hoping that they'll go up in price. You invest all your gold that you've worked hard for, and then the item just tanks because of an exploit. You could have just blown up your entire bank account in the game and lost months and months and years of progress because of this. And too bad.
What happened?
He is gone. You got a little heated.
You turn off your camera there for a second?
No, I don't know. It just kind of Discord was like, we don't like this.
Are we still live? We still streaming?
I think we're still alive. I hope.
You're
we're still alive.
Tash is so heated at RuneScape. He just punched his monitor. That it's pretty bizarre. Like, frankly, it's really, really bizarre because, like, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't just roll back items. Like, unless the developers were like friends with these people, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they're like,
Yeah.
yo, dude, don't do that. You know, it's just so.
I mean, you see that stuff happening. Like with FIFA, there was people at EA that were selling the rare characters like under the table through EA support. Like you could pay $1,000 to the guy, and he would give you, like the good cards. And there was a mod. There was actually a mod and employee of Jagex that there's like this tournament going on. They rigged the tournament essentially, and they like were dropping items. Like there's been some shady stuff, so it's not unheard of.
Wow.
Maybe there's a guy under the table like, all right, you exploit it, we won't ban you, but you got to sell that gold and give me a cut.
A cut, yeah.
You never know.
That's
But,
interesting.
yeah. So and
Well,
at this point, it's probably not going to change. So like, the people that are playing the game are heated, and you just have to eat it. You have to just accept it. There's no.
Yeah.
Well, the RuneScape cheaters are not the only people making bank these days. I gotta say, Rockstar is still milking that GTA 5 title, baby. They are milking it.
The story is next-gen versions of GTA 5, so for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, they're coming out November 11th this year, which is in quite a while. It's been a hot minute since the new consoles were here. Like, do you guys even think people will still buy? Why am I even saying that? Of course they will. What the hell?
People are gonna buy GTA. GTA 5 jumps off the shelves. It literally does. They continue to support that game because for a good reason. They made over $1 billion on the game within the first 2 weeks of it releasing, and they have just continued to capitalize on it since then. And it's had a big resurgence in the last year alone. A lot of online communities started doing these really in-depth role-playing servers, and where you literally choose your identity. Are you a police officer? What's your occupation? And everybody plays by these rules. It's really in-depth, interesting stuff, and so many people got sucked into it. The numbers just continue to go up for GTA Online, but it's really interesting. And so they're just gonna. I cannot fault them at this point. If people keep buying their product, they're gonna keep shipping their product. You know what I'm saying?
And
yeah,
to,
but it's
to be
also
fair,
like,
though, like I've never played GTA 5, and like it's going on next gen. Maybe they update it. Like maybe it's like, oh, do you know what? I haven't played it yet. Maybe I'll finally play it. Or like, back in the day, maybe someone couldn't afford the old console, and then now they're at a different place in their life. And so I don't think it's a bad thing that they re-release games necessarily, because some people just didn't get a chance to play it, or they haven't. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like GTA 5 was like 2 years ago. It isn't. It's longer than that. But like,
no, it's been out for the hottest minute,
I know.
And there's so many like GTA Online packs. But interestingly, like, a lot of the what's it called? A lot of the online stuff, like playing online is pretty, faulty. Like, takes a long time to load into games, a long time. People get disconnected and stuff. So a lot of people want to see like reinvestment of a reinvestment of those resources into making the online more stable, and also a reinvestment of those resources into GTA 6. Dude, people have been waiting for the next Grand Theft Auto for like a decade now. And it's like, it's almost like a victim of its own success. The better GTA 5 does, the more resources they spend on GTA 5, the less time they're working on GTA 6. Why would they make a GTA 6
it's like,
if they're still making so much money from GTA 5?
It's like the whole recent Red Dead 2 online was horrible. Just a horrible game.
Yeah.
Red Dead 2's campaign and single player experience was just a banger. And they kept telling people, "Hey, we got the Red Dead Online coming out too," and everyone's so excited about it. And when it shipped, they're like, "Is my game bugged, or is this it?"
Yeah.
And they dropped it like it was a hot potato, and they just
that's
went,
crazy.
and 2 weeks later, they're like, "Hey, we got this new GTA Online experience if you want to pay for that."
They have like one guy. They have like Kyle and Chris working on
Yeah.
Red Dead Online. Meanwhile, they got 4,000 employees on GTA. Right? Like it is a real concern that they're just gonna spend way too many resources remastering GTA 5, and then it's like, okay, you're still making money off GTA 5 for sure, but at what point does it just kind of fall out of favor, and people are like, well, like, I don't care about GTA 6. Like, the last time I played GTA was 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, not everyone is playing this game right now. Or you just get sick of it.
Now speaking of 4,000 people working on one game, Amazon is about to have 0 people working on their game because they might have just killed it. Now, we actually forgot to talk about this. I don't know why we didn't have in the topics list.
We did. We
I know.
based on it.
We put it in the topics. You didn't copy it down.
Yeah. Amazon
This is hilarious.
has
This is hilarious.
they had that Crucible game, and then they had a beta and everything. I mean, they sponsored a bunch of people. I mean, I got sponsored. Dado, like a bunch of people were playing it.
The only game that went into beta and then they put it back into alpha because it was like it's a disaster. And then they
canceled it.
Yeah, so
oh my god,
they brought it back to like, yeah, we got to rework it, and then they're like, yeah, we can't fix this. Like it's pretty bad. So they canceled that game. The Lord of the Rings game that they were working on gets canceled as well. It's gone.
Yep.
And now the last saving grace is New World. And the thing is, the tragedy is every time they post new footage and new screenshots of New World, it's like, oh damn, that actually looks good.
Looks good, yeah.
If you go on the New World Twitter, there's tons of posts, and it's like, damn, this game actually looks amazing, and it's finally going to be a competitor in the MMO market. And then they made a post, and they're like, listen, we're testing out a storefront in game, and all the store items at launch will be exclusively cosmetic in nature, but we are introducing a storefront in the alpha to test some other items and their value. And essentially, what's going on is their idea is we want everyone to be able to get to endgame. We want everyone to play it because the more people playing endgame and enjoying those systems, the better the game will be because there's just going to be more people rating and enjoying that content. And so everyone was like, well, yeah.
Where are you going with that?
Like, yeah, obviously. And they're like, so, we want to add some quality of life things to the shop for people that maybe can't play as much. So you're going to sell experience and levels and gold. And, where do you draw the line here? And, essentially, pay to win. You can't play as much, but you can be at the end game like I am. Maybe that is good because there's more people playing it. But other people are like,
that's bad.
what? In an MMO, you can pay your way to be max level? And so now everyone went from hype train on New World to like boycotting it. They're saying, it's dead, it's out. There's all sorts. If you just go on YouTube, there's all sorts of different content creators that were saying, I'm going to play New World. That's going to be my main game. I'm so excited for this MMO. And now they're like, yeah, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. You just destroyed all my hype.
It's so crazy that some greedy loser. There's no other. If you're the developer who came up with this idea, you're an absolute loser, and you have no clue about gaming because it's like you need that. You need an actual feeling of accomplishment and an actual
absolutely
a goal-oriented playthrough because it's like, okay, why would I even play the game just with the knowledge that somebody, Timmy No Thumbs, who sucks, can use his mom's credit card and get to the point I am after, I grinded for 80 hours and Timmy No Thumbs buys 80 hours worth of experience and now is caught up to me. It's like, that just completely defeats the purpose.
And also, like, do I want that guy raiding with me if he doesn't understand the weapon systems and armor and how to build a character properly? It's like,
because Timmy No Thumbs is not going to tell you that he bought all of his gear.
Yeah, he's gonna be doing like a third of everyone's DPS, and you're like, Timmy, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Get this guy back in the story content.
Yeah. And again, it's just like the knowledge. It's like it's just the knowledge, right? And it's like that knowledge is what killed Genshin for me, because I kind of knew the direction the game was heading. I was like, it really, really wants me to spend money. It really seems revenue oriented, and I didn't like that gotcha system. Some people love it. It's just not for everyone, right? And that same thing is going to happen here. It's like, do you really see yourself committing to 200 hours of grinding just because you know in the back of your mind that if you whip out that credit card, if you enter those 3 digits on the back, baby, then you've got all your grind done for you. And I think that was going to kill the experience for so many people.
Yeah, on top of that, for me, one of the things that it makes me concerned about is, what does that mean about the quality of the main story content? If you're thinking people would be willing to pay just to skip it altogether, you might be thinking to yourself, this story content's kind of lame anyways. Like, it feels like to me, if you made something that you were really proud of, that you really stand behind, you really endorse it, you're like, hey, this experience is fantastic. The furthest thing from your mind would be giving people an option to pay to skip that content entirely. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that makes me concerned about the quality of the product.
It's like, oh, hey, you got Mass Effect 3, you can pay $19.99 and go right to the ending. It's like, what? You know,
well, I mean,
what are we doing?
With Outriders, like, I don't think Outriders had the best story, you know, and it's like, I'm not gonna skip that, even though it might not be the best story, to get to the end game, because it's like, I want to have a reason to be in the end game. Like, I don't know, no game should be all about the end game, and that's the only reason to play it, because it's like, if nothing mattered before then, and I didn't have fun before then, I'm not even gonna get to that point. And it's just such a weird thing. Is like, do you not have faith in your ability to hook people and get them playing? And like, do you not have cool world quests to enjoy on the level? And like, I want to be level 12 and see an ogre and go, oh snap, I can't fight that.
Run the other way,
right? Yeah, like that happens all the time in like Fallout and all these things. It's like, I see that death claw, but I'm not fighting it right now because
my favorite part of any looter is like, you know, you're playing The Division, you're playing Destiny, you're playing Borderlands, you get like that, your first purple, your first legendary when you're still leveling up, and it just like carries you for multiple levels. That's like such a good feeling. This kills it. You're already right to level 80, right to max level. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So that doesn't instill a lot of faith in me. I'll still really try it. Because like,
it's really concerning that it's like Amazon, this is their last game. They had Crucible regressed back into alpha and got canceled. Lord of the Rings MMO canceled. New World is, if you go to Amazon Games like .com, if you go to the official website, now it just shows New World. Under products, you can tell there's a product section. It's the saddest thing, guys. You click products on Amazon Games and there's one product.
There's one.
There's no need for plural. It's New World. That's it. You can tell they planned on having more stuff here. But who is in charge of Amazon Gaming that is just like canceling everything? You know, it's just like complete disaster every single time.
Yeah, someone in chat said
it's really concerning.
Someone in chat said, didn't Destiny sell you bundles though to level up? Yes, they did, but it was different. It was to get you caught up to the new DLC storyline. Like, it was the storylines, the base. It wasn't for endgame. It wasn't like pay to get your boost to take you to the raid.
Yeah, it's a little bit different because, well, is it different? Like, it is.
It is different because it's story content. You know what I mean? They brought up the whole base level for a lot of these activities, and then they released. Because remember back when Taken King, right, was when the first time they did that. Wasn't that right?
Maybe, yeah.
And they needed to get, so they wanted to make the new, because it's a whole storyline, and they wanted that content not to be locked behind all of the other content they had already made. So they said, hey, if you're brand new to the game, you can get a boost that's going to, and it came with the DLC. If you bought the DLC, you got that spark to bring your light level up.
And then you still had to level up. Because like, you're starting at the same level as all the other people, and you're still leveling up through this. It would be more comparable to like if Taken King came out, and then you could buy something that brings you just to the max power level right away.
And it cheapens the whole because everyone's doing that power level grind when the new DLC comes out between launch day and raid day, right? And if you could pay just to go straight to raid levels, that'd be a big deal.
Dude, there's some people though that like want that. There's a group of people that want to make games as easy as possible. And it's interesting though, because you'll see people out, why isn't there like a hyper easy mode for this game so we can just experience the story? And maybe for a single player game, that doesn't matter. But as soon as it's like a multiplayer game, like an MMO, it's one of those things where it's like, at some point, you actually do need to put some effort in to get a result. Because that is that dopamine hit. It's like I grinded, and then you get the loot drop you want. You get that dopamine hit. You get to put it on your
clear
character.
the activity.
You see yourself hit for more damage as soon as you equip it. You're like, yes, right? If you let people pay to skip all that, it just completely kills. And I don't think people realize, like, people think they want this stuff, right? People think, oh, I would pay to skip everything, until they do it. And then they get to the end game and it's a hollow feeling and there's nothing to do anymore because you've paid to skip it. And it is kind of an unfortunate thing.
And like, people rely on you in a multiplayer game to not be useless.
Exactly.
In PvP, even if it's the menagerie, like any match-made activity, if you're not doing the mechanics properly because you never play the game, but you're like high level, it's not fun to play with you. It can ruin the experience in some cases. And
it sucks,
just,
dude.
Yeah.
What is going on at Amazon Games? What's going on?
They are professionals at murdering games. That's what they are.
Yeah, Amazon. Guess who owns Twitch? Amazon. Whoever is running these companies, dude, clowns, complete clowns at the helm here. Like, what is going on here?
They just make minimum viable product to make money and like try to milk it as best they can. Like, I understand that they're corporations to make money, but like, it seems like they're corporations to make money, not to make games at this point. In a lot of
crazy
cases.
though. Crazy because you'd probably make more money. You'd make more money if New World was just a good game. Like
GTA 5, we were just talking about. They just made
it good.
Incredible game. They just made a really freaking good game. And what did they make? Over $1 billion in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Boom.
you just make a solid game. You can't go into it being like, our game isn't even out yet. How much can we milk it? Right? It's like, you got to make a solid game first before you can even think about milking it.
Here's Fortnite. It's free. You have so much fun for a month. Now we're gonna release the most banger skin we've ever released. $1 billion in a weekend. Because of the Raven skin. Like,
that's right.
Okay, like that's how you do it. I don't know. And it's like, well, are you gonna pay me a membership fee to play New World? And then on top of that, people are buying their way to the finale, and it's like, well, I just won't spend as much on a membership because instead of having to grind for 3 months to get to the end game, I'll just buy the end game and save money, like save time and money. I don't know. It's just
so crazy.
It's bizarre. And then you get in that weird situation. It's like, well, if I work for 8 hours at my job, I could just buy more gold than I could make in RuneScape. Like there's all these things where it's just like, now real world is the meta. I'm just gonna work really hard at my job, take that extra shift at the go-kart place, and now I'm richer than everyone else. Weird.
It's funny. Since we're talking about Twitch, I want to say quickly, Elite's bugging me nonstop about it. So to get him to shut the hell up, he sent me an article. This is on the r/like live stream fail, talking about Twitch. We've talked about how they ban people. So someone has been banned twice in a row due to a miscommunication over their username. It looks somewhat inappropriate. It's not. They got banned. They talked to Twitch. Twitch is like, you're right, that's our bad. Unbanned them. Rebanned them later down. Like a different guy thought the same thing. Rebanned him. It's been 6 months. 6 months they've been banned. Nothing. Because Twitch can't possibly spend the money to like have people reach out to the creators they banned. Like, God forbid, right?
Holy cow.
And it's happened to like a totally different creator too. It's like mistaken username bans on Twitch.
Well, like honestly, they are inept in so many ways. Like even I mean, I think I could say this. Like, Mr. Fruit has been trying to get in contact with someone at Twitch about his partnership. He's partner and everything, but like they've got different levels of partners, and like Fruit pulls in some big numbers. Like, he's a big creator, and like he cannot contact anyone at Twitch. And so I messaged my person and I was like, hey, like, could you talk to him? And like, she wouldn't even entertain the idea of like spending a minute looking into this. She's like, if he wants a partnership, like he needs to go through all the same things. I was like, he already is a partner. he just wants to talk to someone at Twitch because he just wants some clarification on something. And she's like, well, talk to his partner manager. He doesn't have one. Like, that's why I'm messaging you. Like,
so
This
wild.
is why I am
wild.
because I'm trying to generate a plan, right? My contract with Facebook is coming to a close this fall. And I'll be done with my second contracted year, and I'm trying to generate a plan. Okay, where do we go from here? Where does our content go? Do we stay on Facebook? Do we go to Twitch? Do we go to YouTube for live streams? What's it going to be? And I am so hesitant to do Twitch. I did a test stream over there, and it was a fantastic stream numbers wise. I had a great stream numbers wise, very healthy. And but here's the thing, I'm worried that thinking about like people like Geek Chick who made the transition back to Twitch and then had to wait almost a year to get partnered again, even though she met all the requirements because they were being petty about it and didn't want to restore her partnership. But then on top of that, then I want to take my partnership to the next level, back to where I was before I left Twitch, right? Because I wasn't at the base tier. I was at the higher tier. And if Mr. Fruit can't even get a response, am I going to get a response? I don't know. It could be 2 years before I have my fully monetized content on Twitch again.
If you're not Ninja or whoever, like, Twitch doesn't care about you, which is really sad because it's like there's Ninja brings in or whoever is the top Twitch streamer, you know, Tim the Tatman brings in an insane amount of revenue. But if you count up all the Twitch grinders, the people getting only 100 views, and if you just combine them all, they're so much bigger than Tim the Tatman, right? All these people have their own little niche communities, and they do have a value, and you do want to make those people happy, especially because YouTube comes along. If YouTube wants, they'll take Tim the Tatman. If YouTube wants to take Tim Tatman, they'll get him, right? In one email. Hey, Tim, is YouTube, baby, or this is Facebook. How's this number sound? They got Tim. So you think your Twitch's idea is just to double down on the popular people? They're gone. They're not loyal. They don't like your platform, right? Like, you got to make the people grinding up happy. Those are the people who are loyal to your platform.
Your backbones, yeah.
They lost Valkyrie. They lost Courage. Ninja, Dr. Disrespect are gone. Like, they're losing big names to these contracts, or to not even contracts in the case of some people. Like, I know Courage and Valkyrie are gone, and like they banned Doc, so he's gone. But like Harris Heller, he's the guy that runs like Alpha Gaming, and he's like the Stream Beats guy. He left Twitch for YouTube, and he's like, it is a cut to my pay. Like, I had a lot of Twitch subs, but
yeah, and listen, YouTube is not the best. YouTube has its fair share of problems, but I'll tell you, I have a YouTube partner manager, and I think one time when Mtashed, you were going through something, I got him to look into your thing, and he did.
Yeah,
he's
and
like,
now,
I can
and
do
now
that.
he's my partner manager.
Yeah, so like
he's
it's
so
like
good.
It's like, yeah, exactly. Like these are people that like they'll actually help you, or they'll actually try to help you. Like you said, the Twitch won't even try, dude. They're just like, we don't care. Get the hell out of here.
How dare you speak to me?
How dare you even like
How dare
waste
you
my time with
email
this
me?
nonsense?
Or they just copy and paste. Thanks for your email. We'll get back to you when we can. 9 months
Yeah,
later.
exactly. Okay, let's move on from there. Now, we're not ending the stream. In fact, some may say the stream is just beginning because we're entering RGH After Dark. This is where the topics list is done. We take your questions from the chat and we talk about that stuff. So if you want to ask a question, go ahead. Obviously, priority for the questions is given to our lovely members. If you want to become a member, support the channel, unlock a bunch of new emotes, you can do that by hitting that join button, or Tash is going to post a link in the description, or sorry, a link in the chat, so you can just click on that and become a member. So go ahead and ask away, and we'll talk about all this crazy stuff.
Boom. Gorgeous.
I will want to say, someone said like the hot tub stuff is kind of cheating to me because a lot of people worked really hard for subscribers, you know, and the females are just doing. Listen, we went over this in the last one, but it's like, what's harder, you know, like staying in incredible shape and dieting constantly, right? So you have a fantastic figure, or grinding Call of Duty Warzone. You know what I mean? Like, there's different levels. It's not necessarily one is easier or harder. I mean, like if you're getting really competitive in Call of Duty, that's a different topic. But it's just one of those things where if they're streaming and people are joining and watching and donating and Twitch is allowing it, they are doing nothing wrong. All the criticism should be towards Twitch.
Right. And there's also probably not a lot of overlap in those communities either.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're losing a viewer to that. There's probably no one who would be watching your stream who is going to this stream instead of yours.
Bro, go look at the Twitch chat for 4 seconds in one of those streams and just ask yourself, do you want that guy watching you? They're like, ooh, yeah, you look so good in that bikini. I love those feet. Like, they're psychos, man. Like,
Show feet plots. I donated $1. Say my name.
Yeah, you don't want them. Oh my God, she's writing my name on her body in Sharpie. Those guys are not gonna watch you play RuneScape or they're not. They're not the same human being. They typed in Twitch instead of, PH and like they're there for one reason, and I'll tell you what, it isn't a game. They're doing something else. They're not typing on their keyboard with their hand, if you know what I'm saying. So let's just drop that.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things that the criticism towards the female streamers, again, really think about it. The issue here is not that they exist. The issue is just the discrepancy of ruling. And like how one thing is sexual. We talked about how like an emote of like a breasts, not like clothed, not super sexual, that got banned. But the a streamer that was streaming literally this down, that was a-okay. So it's a whole issue of just incompetence at Twitch. That is the main issue here.
Yeah. Also, did you guys check out Bitcoin today? Did you see that? It dropped down to like the lowest it's been in since like January, but then right back up. So if you bought the dip, you made like 10 G's. Like, it's just kind of crazy. It's going up and down. And
I didn't even notice. I bought back in January, and I'm like, I don't even care, dude. Yeah. I'm just a habit, and I just like I don't even check it, because it's like I'm gonna check it in 10 years and make $1 million or make $0. I don't even care.
Do you have one Bitcoin, like a full Bitcoin?
No, not a full Bitcoin. I don't have like that much money in. I have some in Bitcoin, some in Ethereum. I just kind of did it to see. I don't really care that much.
Yeah. My thing is like I didn't buy it back when it was cheaper, so it's like, well, it's only 38,000, and I'm like, I didn't believe in it back then. And also the fact that it can go from 70,000 to 38,000 in 4 days.
It's extremely volatile.
Right.
Are you kidding me, man? Like, I just don't have a lot of
extremely volatile. And I mean, hey, some people are making some absolute bank off that. Good for you. The thing is, you got to be aware of survivorship bias. So you only hear the stories of people making absolute bank, right? You got to be wary of the people making. I mean, the story of this is like, so I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but it's really interesting, I promise. The story of survivorship bias that gives you a good example of this is in World War II, the planes, like American planes, would come back from sorties, and they would look at them and look at all the bullet marks, and they notice, like, you have a shape of a plane, here are the wings. They notice there's a bunch of bullet marks at the very beginning of the wings, a bunch of bullet marks on the tail wing and stuff like that. And initially they were like, well, here's where planes are getting shot the most. We have to reinforce these places with armor. But then it took a couple of like really smart people to come along and go, actually, wait a second. This is not what we're looking at. We're not looking at where planes get shot the most and we need to reinforce. Right. We're looking at where planes we're looking at where planes get shot the most that still come back. The ones that don't come back, that's what we're going to help. So it's like oh, okay, so that's why there was never any damage up near like the engines, because the planes that got shot in the engines, they didn't make it
went down.
Exactly. Yeah. So it actually, like, they literally were going through the process to reinforce these places, and then they realized like halfway through, oh wait, we're looking at the data wrong. And again, that's the reason I mentioned it, is just because of like the Wall Street bets, like all those things. Like, as many people make bank, a lot of people like lose it all. And it's like, you got to be careful with that. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. You need to be willing to lose every dime and still be financially okay.
Like, someone bought Bitcoin at $75,000 Canadian, and it dropped to 45,000. So like, they're down $30,000 on a full Bitcoin, or more than that if they invested more. And like, someone bought Dogecoin at 77 cents, and it's now at 38 cents. So like, there's tons of those people. You could say the same thing about stocks. Like, a month ago, people bought in to certain ETFs at like way higher than they are. But it's just one of those things where Like
Arc Innovation, baby, it's coming back.
I have to
It's
say though,
coming back.
but there's so many people shilling different coins and Dogecoin and stuff, and it's like a lot of influencers, and it's like, yeah, because they bought in cheaper than you. They want you to buy the coins that it goes up because they already own it. They're already making bank, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like like GME.
Yeah.
GME is like everyone's aping in, we're in it together. No. We're in it together until it gets to a point where I sell it. Like that's the thing is everyone who's like, we're all in it together, we're gonna screw the big hedge funds with GameStop, and it's like no.
You see those dollar signs, and you're like,
we're gonna screw them until $400 a share when I make $1 million and I leave. That's when I'm in it with you guys. Like everyone's fighting for themselves. So
yeah, well, we're not saying like don't hold. That's another thing though. Like you
I'm
gotta be willing to
buying.
watch the go, dude. Me and Tash invested a bunch in the tech stuff, but it was a little bit of a bump. Then it kept going down, so we're down like crazy. But hey, maybe it'll go back up. Who knows, baby? Anyways, how much is a full Bitcoin? It changes every day. Like honestly, I don't even want to say because by the time we say it, it's gonna be different.
Yeah. One episode later, and it's gonna be like, what do you mean a Bitcoin's only 45,000? It's $1 million now. Like that, it's so volatile. You never know.
Yeah, Margarella, that's what I was drinking. This is Redwood Empire rye.
How is it a different bottle every week? Do you go through the previous bottle in that week? Genuinely, I want to know.
I collect bottles, so I'll nurse one for a while, put it on a shelf, you know. So I have a lot of bottles. I don't kill bottles very often.
You're just constantly balancing those.
Listen,
yeah, and then also you have something called an infinity bottle that you have that's separate. And what you do is hear me out. So what you do is you do just like, you know, maybe 4 ounces of a bottle. You'll pour into your infinity bottle. And then every time I buy a new bottle, I'll just take some off the top, 4 ounces, pour it in my infinity bottle, and they all start to mix. And every now and then I'll pour out of my infinity bottle and have a glass of that. And it's got some really, it's the idea is that every time you take a drink out of that bottle, it's a different whiskey every time. It's never the same whiskey twice.
That sounds terrible.
Because it's constantly a different kind of whiskey going in and coming out.
So what if you get like a really bold whiskey? What if you get Fireball? Are you gonna pour 4 ounces of Fireball into the other whiskey?
First of all, you wouldn't catch me dead buying Fireball.
Okay, elitist.
But
dude, I love Fire. Give me that Fireball. I think they had to ban Fireball in Canada because it like had shared too many ingredients with like windshield wiper fluid. At least that's what I heard. Don't quote me on that. And I'm like, I literally, my desire to drink Fireball went from here to like maybe here. I don't know. I was like, awesome.
Still good to me.
Still good to me, baby.
You know, the crazy thing is though, he's like, I've been nursing this, and you think that it's like I'm drinking it slowly. No. That means like he's treating it like a newborn. He constantly has the bottle, and he's like, "This is my new little whiskey," and he spends a good few months with it. Addicted. We're concerned about it, Ryan. Like that's why we keep bringing it up.
This is why, for your financial security, we're trying to plan our vacation at all-inclusive. Because frankly, we're honestly really concerned about how you'd ever be able to afford that if it wasn't all-inclusive. The all-inclusive, we're going to go to an all-inclusive, and they're going to be looking at the charts, and they're going to be like, dude, this one random week, we lost money. Every other week, we can account for our stock. This 1 week, there's like a big dip in our alcohol stock. Like, we don't understand it. Did more people come? No.
They don't stock top shelf whiskeys there.
Well, the ones we're looking at do. The ones Mtashed is looking at don't. We're looking at the half decent ones that actually have some not so bad alcohol. Tash is looking at the people that only have Russian Prince.
What's wrong with Super 8 resorts in Mexico?
Oh, I know.
The Ramada.
We have a wife.
Guantanamo Bay.
We have a wife. Yeah, exactly. Guantanamo Bay. He's like, this place looks nice. It's got a beachfront. Our wives have like a group chat, and they're saying like, poor Kat, Tasha's wife is like, oh my god, trying to convince this guy to go somewhere nice. Is like, you're always worried about him being like, well, I found this other place. You know, it's where El Chapo used to live. Might still have some of his friends around. We don't know, but you know.
I'm frugal. Listen. I was poor, and so it's like it's built into my brain. Like, do I need that? I have some shirts from grade 7. Honestly, I might even have some
I do.
socks and underwear
It's
from grade 7.
funny
I don't
you
want to
should
talk about
mention
it.
that. It's funny you should mention that. I was I put on some gym shorts the other day just because I was doing some outdoor work, and I was like, where did I get these? And I was like, you know what? I remember getting these. I was in high school.
Oh,
I
wow.
literally I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 33 years old wearing a pair of gym shorts from high school.
Dude,
Yeah.
most of my shirts were given to me for free at E3 events and stuff like that.
I
So
know.
many.
I had to start giving some shirts away because it's like I keep getting all this stuff, and it's like I just got like brands in my like of different
Yeah, I know.
games and stuff.
I have got a Division 2 t-shirt, and it says on the back, it says Mixer. That I'm gonna wait for that one. I'm gonna auction that off. A lost relic of
Yeah.
a golden age of streaming.
Yep.
Any gamers play Subnautica below zero? Yeah, looks interesting. It's like a whole new setting now and stuff. Subnautica certainly popped off.
Yeah, I didn't play the first one, but I've heard amazing things. I will eventually get to it, but I think Subnautica just dropped like the past couple days. Didn't it drop like just recently? Because I know Glad was saying he was going to
Not
play
sure.
it. He was kind of making a post about it, how he wanted to play that. So maybe on the weekend it dropped.
Our boy D Flawless shout out is here, and he's like, I'm careful with money. I'm not cheap. Well, Tash is extremely careful. I have to listen. You know what though? I am careful too until I go on vacation. Then I splurge and I have a good time, right? Because it's
I
like,
get that.
what am I saving for?
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? I'm gonna get the Bill Gates 5G cancer from this vaccine anyways. So might as well get, you know what I mean? Get it all out and party in the meantime.
The
I'm just
thing
kidding,
is-
by the way.
is-
Get your vaccines.
Is we went to Mission Hill, and it was like $150 or $170 per person. I've never spent that much.
150. It's
I've
very
never
reasonable.
spent that much on dinner in my life, and I was like, I can afford it. But to pull the trigger on that, for me, I'm just like,
Give me anxiety. Yeah.
oh my god, the anxiety! I couldn't believe it. But you know, we spent 300 and some by the time you tip per couple to go to this place. It was so worth it because like we had delicious food. We tried a bunch of wines. The atmosphere was amazing. They're bringing all these different courses, and
We're overlooking
how
the
often
entire
do we do
like
that?
Kelowna area.
Yeah,
it's like
our
super
wives.
nice.
Oh my god, they looked so good. Like just like they
I
got
live
all
for
done.
those moments, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's very expensive, but it's like you're not doing it every day. You're doing it once. You're splurging for that one, and it's more like an event. It's not like for a meal. It's for like that night, an event for that night.
Yeah.
And yeah, you said you're like, damn, you know what? That was actually pretty worth it. I would have probably not done that before, but it was worth it.
I 100% though have like a problem with spending money where like I needed a new winter jacket and I was like stressing and I was like I need the winter jacket. Just buy the jacket. Like just buy the jacket. I'm going to have it for 10 years. Like stop. But I get this anxiety where it's like but maybe I could get a cheaper jacket or like do I actually need that? And it's just kind of built into me. I
do
budget
that so much with games. Weirdly, if I see a game is like $20 on Steam, it looks fun. I'm like, oh, how often am I really gonna play it? Am I gonna make content out of it? I'm like, bro, it's $20. I had to like remind myself, like, why would I just buy it? Like Phasmophobia and stuff. It took me so long to just buy Phasmophobia. I'm like, eventually, I'm like, why don't I just buy it? It's like $20. Like,
you can write it off. You can write it off.
I got my money's worth out of that game. I'll tell you what, Marty, 150 hours in.
Jeez.
Phantasmophobia?
Phasmophobia. Yeah, me and my wife played it together all the time. We love that game.
We gotta do a gaming night with the wives playing Phasmophobia. My wife is so scares so easily.
Pee their pants. It's great.
And I think Tash's wife does too. And dude, we could film that for content, and it would be
That's
free
easy
content for
content.
so long, dude.
Yeah, but I totally get in our house, it's like me and my wife are kind of opposites in that regard. Like I love to say, you know what, I don't buy a lot of stuff, but when I do go buy something, I want to make sure that it's nice. You know, but she's like where can I get a good deal? Let me read the reviews. I'll buy this one and that one. I'll keep them for a week, and then I'm gonna take one back. You know what I mean? It's like all about that. And I'm just not that way. But we came from a different. I started out as a youth pastor, right? That's where I started at coming out of college. I went to being a youth pastor. Spoiler alert. you don't make a lot of money in that line of work. You know, and I
No.
climbed my way up and in the church and wore a couple different hats, but I'm very familiar with that feeling of refreshing your bank account, you know, just a paycheck coming through. You know, we've been there, done that. So, but right now we're in a position where I love to have those moments where like, listen, we've been saving, I haven't spent much, but we can afford it. Let's do something cool. And I love having them be like, you know, these benchmarks throughout the year that you kind of remember the year by. It kind of helps frame in the year for you. So for me, it's a good thing because I feel like I get a lot of return on those big splurge moments because they solidify in my brain as sort of this memory that I can attach to. Oh, I remember that year because the kids were doing that, we were doing this all together. You know what I mean? That's what I like about it.
I also I think there is value in buying a quality product. Like we and like the thing is like in certain cases maybe you go with the cheap thing because like
You know what's a good example?
in the case of Ben, what?
I was just gonna say Astro. We're all sponsored by Astro, but seriously, I the first Astro I bought was before I was sponsored. I just bought it, and it's expensive. It's like $250 or whatever it was Canadian, right? But I remember spending over $250 when I growing up, like through my life, in like crappy Turtle Beaches when in the Modern Warfare days, and like replacing them every like again. I probably spent like $400 over a course of quite a while on Turtle Beaches before I spent $250, or I think it was like $200 on a pair of Astros, and they never went wrong. They worked forever until the only new ones I got was because I finally got sponsored by Astro. And it's just a good example of like sometimes it's good to like spend the money for that quality product because it's gonna last longer.
100%. Like we bought a bike, and like the thing is Ben is growing, so he grew out of the bike, but we bought him a bike, you know, at Walmart kind of thing. And it like by the end of it, the brakes, the gear shifting, like it was just falling apart. We're like, holy cow, we've had this thing for like a year. We haven't even gone that much, and it's just a piece of trash. And so when we bought bikes, we went and got some nicer bikes, and you know they're such good quality, and it's like I'm gonna have this thing forever. But even like I remember like the tongs from my barbecue. Like I have the cheapest, shittest tongs. I'm like trying to pick up a steak and like they're terrible. And then you go buy a nice pair of tongs and it's like, okay, I'm flipping this
they're
thing.
nice
It's
knives,
nice.
dude. You like trying to cut tomato, you can't.
Dude,
You're like
knives.
You're like slicing your fingers up. You're like,
Right?
It's like a horror movie.
Right?
Yeah.
You're trying to cut up an onion and it's like you can't even cut through the damn onion, and then you get a new knife, like a good one, and it's like, okay. Cheese graters. Like there's so many things in the world where you spend $15 and it's just a terrible experience the whole time. Like my cheese grater, holding it, it's like sharp on the handle. It's the most uncomfortable handle, and it's like, why? Like go buy a new cheese grater.
Right.
It's $40. Like this thing hurts my hand. I can't even make a thing of nachos. I'm like, oh my hand. Like, come on. Sometimes you gotta splurge a little, buy the nice stuff.
Right. Exactly. Brandon Deck with a $10 donation. Thank you very much. He says, like, my girlfriend and I have been playing that It Takes Two game. And said, yeah, a ton of fun. I've heard about that. I've heard nothing but good things. The It Takes Two, it seems like the perfect game to play with your partner or like even with a friend. It's just like all built entirely around co-op. Yeah, it looks really sweet.
Actually, really quickly, just for donations, because I actually missed some. We got a donation from Anthony. We got a $5 donation. Hey, gents, you're awesome. Thoroughly enjoy all of your content. Another $5 from Anthony. Again, for TV and Kackis, how do you avoid burnout when playing Destiny?
Oh, easy. I don't stream. Everyone's like, why don't you stream? I notice I've never quit. Like, no offense to you, Tash, but it's like I've never quit because I will dial it back behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm streaming for 5 hours a day, I'm done. There's no way I can handle the workload I have now. So
5 hours. Those are rookie numbers.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And even you haven't been streaming as much Destiny because like it just kind of forces you to play more than you're comfortable with, and then you switch to other games. So that's me. I don't stream. I focus on the content. I still play the game a lot, but I'm never like forcing myself to play when I'm not enjoying it. And I think that's like a key factor in how I don't get burnt out.
Right. We got a $10 donation, Tash coin to the moon.
Let's do it, baby.
That's the thing. It's like everyone's like putting their own like NFTs and like coins out. It's like, come on, it's just too much. Brandon Deck with another $10. My girlfriend and I have been playing It Takes Two. That was the $10 donation. I recommend it. For sure.
All right. Well, I think that's where we've got to stop today. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We really
For
appreciate it.
stopping
You
by.
guys are the best every week. Every week we're back with what did Twitch do this last week?
Yeah.
It's the best. I love it, dude. I honestly like when I see that article or like tweet or something posted in our like Twitter group chat, and like, and someone's like, "Look at what Twitch did." I always like can't believe it. It's weird how it shouldn't surprise me, and yet it surprises me every time. I'm like, what happened now?
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for watching. We do this podcast every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the RGH podcast. Like the podcast, love the podcast, subscribe and notify yourself of the podcast. Follow our Twitter, whatever plugs. I think we fixed the links in the description. Do you know what? They're not fixed.
Also, buy
They're not
Advanced
fixed.
GG. One more plug.
I'm looking at them and they did the ... thing again. I went in and I fixed them. Specifically.
You got save it.
I saved. I fixed it.
We'll take a look at it later.
Yeah.
You know what? You might have fixed it in the last episode. I don't think you fixed it in the default settings.
I did. That's specifically where I fixed it.
Well, YouTube isn't perfect, so we'll figure it out.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mtashed.
I'm KackisHD.
True Vanguard.